Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we bring you a powerful and emotional family story about favoritism, hidden sacrifices, public humiliation, and the moment the truth changes everything. Stay with us until the very end because this unforgettable story carries a lesson every family should hear. Emily Carter had spent her entire life trying to earn love that always seemed reserved for someone else. Growing up, she watched her younger sister, Sophia, receive endless praise, expensive birthday gifts, and constant encouragement. Whenever Sophia made even the smallest achievement, their parents celebrated as if she had conquered the world. Emily, however, was expected to succeed quietly. Her good grades were considered normal, her hard work was ignored, and her sacrifices went unnoticed. As the years passed, Emily stopped expecting appreciation. She worked part-time while attending college, graduated without asking her parents for financial help, and eventually built a successful career as a financial consultant. She rented a comfortable apartment, managed her finances wisely, and lived independently. Sophia's life followed a different path. She frequently changed jobs, depended on their parents for money, and loved showing off on social media. Despite this, their parents always defended her, believing she simply needed more support. One afternoon, Emily received a call from her father. "Emily, your mother and I are celebrating our 30th wedding anniversary next month. We'd love for you to come." Emily smiled warmly. "Of course, Dad. I wouldn't miss it." A few days later, while speaking with the event coordinator about her RSVP, Emily accidentally learned that the anniversary party was close to being cancelled. The venue, catering company, and decorators had not received full payment. Feeling sorry for her parents, Emily quietly contacted the coordinator. "I'd like to cover the remaining expenses," she said softly. The coordinator sounded surprised. "Are you sure? It's a very large amount." Emily didn't hesitate. "Yes. But please don't tell anyone. I don't want recognition. I just want my parents to enjoy their special day." The coordinator gladly accepted and promised to keep her generosity a secret. Weeks later, the anniversary arrived. The ballroom looked magnificent. Crystal chandeliers sparkled overhead, elegant flowers decorated every table, and a live band filled the room with soft music. Guests admired the luxurious decorations, believing Emily's parents had planned everything themselves. Emily arrived wearing a graceful navy blue dress and quietly greeted relatives. Sophia entered moments later in a glamorous designer gown. "There you are," Sophia laughed. "I was wondering if you'd actually come." Emily smiled politely. "I wouldn't miss Mom and Dad's big day." Sophia looked around proudly. "Isn't this party amazing? Mom says it's the best family celebration we've ever had." Emily simply nodded. Throughout the evening, Emily helped elderly relatives find their seats, carried gifts to the table, and even comforted nervous children who had become overwhelmed by the crowd. When dinner was announced, guests lined up at the buffet. Emily waited patiently until everyone else had served themselves. Only after helping several older relatives did she finally pick up a plate and begin selecting a modest meal. Just then, her mother's sharp voice echoed across the ballroom. "Emily." Every conversation stopped. Her mother crossed her arms and stared at Emily's plate. "Don't fill your plate," she sneered loudly. "You didn't pay for this." The room fell completely silent. Emily froze. Across the room, Sophia couldn't hide the satisfied smile spreading across her face. Emily stood frozen, her plate trembling slightly in her hands. The cheerful music stopped feeling warm, and every guest's eyes shifted between her and her mother. Some people looked embarrassed, while others exchanged uncomfortable glances. No one expected such harsh words at what was supposed to be a joyful anniversary celebration. Her mother folded her arms. "Why are you just standing there?" she snapped. "Didn't you hear me? This food wasn't free." Sophia leaned against the dessert table with a smug smile. She whispered loudly enough for nearby relatives to hear. Some people always know how to enjoy things they didn't earn. A few cousins chuckled awkwardly, unsure whether they should laugh or stay silent. Emily took a slow breath. She wanted to defend herself, but she refused to ruin the evening with an argument. Looking directly at her mother, she calmly replied, "I'm sorry if I've embarrassed you." Without another word, she placed a small portion of food back onto the serving tray and quietly walked toward a nearby table. Several relatives watched in disbelief. Emily's aunt, Linda, approached her mother. "Carol, don't you think you were a little too harsh?" she asked gently. Carol shrugged. "I'm teaching Emily a lesson. She's always been too proud of herself." Linda frowned. "I've never seen Emily ask anyone for anything." Carol ignored the comment and walked away. Emily sat alone near the corner of the ballroom. She stared at her untouched dinner while trying to hold back tears. She reminded herself why she had paid for the celebration in the first place. She hadn't done it to earn praise. She had simply wanted her parents to have one beautiful evening together. Just then, the event coordinator hurried toward the stage, looking anxious. He whispered something to the master of ceremonies before taking the microphone himself. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began with a warm smile, "before tonight comes to an end, there is one person we absolutely must thank." The room became quiet again. This celebration almost didn't happen. Guests looked at one another in confusion. The venue, decorations, catering, music, and photography were all at risk of being cancelled because we hadn't received the final payment. Carol's confident smile slowly disappeared. Sophia frowned. The coordinator continued. Fortunately, someone stepped forward without asking for recognition. Emily lowered her head, already knowing what was about to happen. She requested complete anonymity because she wanted tonight to be about family, not herself. The coordinator looked directly toward Emily. "Miss Emily Carter, would you please join me on stage?" Every guest turned toward her in complete shock. Emily slowly stood. Murmurs spread across the ballroom. "Emily paid? She saved the whole party? I can't believe it." The coordinator smiled warmly. Emily covered nearly every remaining expense for this anniversary celebration. Without her generosity, none of us would be here tonight. The ballroom erupted into applause. Carol's face turned pale. Sophia's confident smile vanished instantly. The coordinator wasn't finished. In fact, when we offered to publicly thank her weeks ago, she refused. She said the only reward she wanted was seeing her parents happy. Many guests wiped tears from their eyes. Emily walked slowly to the stage, clearly uncomfortable with the attention. As the applause continued, Carol realized the painful truth. The daughter she had just humiliated in front of everyone was the very reason the celebration existed at all. The guilt hit her harder than anything she had ever experienced. The applause echoed through the ballroom as Emily stood on the stage, visibly uncomfortable with the attention. She had never wanted recognition. She had only wanted her parents to have one perfect evening together. Yet now, every pair of eyes in the room was fixed on her. The event coordinator handed Emily a bouquet of flowers. "On behalf of our entire staff," he said, "thank you for your incredible generosity. In all my years organizing events, I've rarely seen someone give so much while asking for absolutely nothing in return." The audience applauded once again. Emily accepted the bouquet with a humble smile. "I didn't do this for applause," she said softly into the microphone. "I did it because they're my parents. They've given me life, and I wanted them to celebrate a milestone they'll always remember." Her words made many guests emotional. Carol, Emily's mother, could no longer hold back her tears. The cruel words she had spoken only minutes earlier echoed painfully in her mind. "Don't fill your plate. You didn't pay for this." She realized those words had not only embarrassed Emily, they had revealed years of unfair treatment. Sophia stood silently, avoiding everyone's eyes. The smug smile she had worn earlier had completely disappeared. For the first time, she understood how deeply her sister had been hurt over the years. Carol slowly walked toward the stage. Her hands trembled as she reached Emily. "I'm so sorry," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. "I judged you without knowing the truth. I've spent years comparing you to your sister, and today I hurt the one person who asked for nothing but gave us everything." The ballroom became completely silent. Emily looked at her mother for a long moment before gently taking her hand. "I never wanted your money or your praise," Emily replied. "I only wanted to feel like your daughter." Carol broke down crying and hugged Emily tightly. "I'm ashamed of myself," she said. "I can't change the past, but I promise I'll spend the rest of my life trying to become a better mother." Many guests wiped tears from their eyes. Sophia slowly approached her sister. "I owe you an apology too," she admitted quietly. "I enjoyed watching Mom criticize you because I thought being the favorite meant I had one. But tonight I realized I lost something much more important, my kindness." Emily smiled gently. "It's never too late to change." Sophia embraced her older sister, and for the first time in many years, the hug felt sincere. Emily's father stepped onto the stage with tears in his eyes. "I failed to notice how unfair things had become," he confessed. "From today onward, our family will be built on respect, honesty, and gratitude, not favoritism." The guests applauded warmly. The rest of the evening felt completely different. Relatives gathered around Emily, thanking her not only for saving the celebration but also for showing remarkable grace after being publicly humiliated. Instead of seeking revenge, she had responded with dignity, patience, and compassion. As the anniversary party came to an end, Carol quietly prepared a dinner plate herself and walked over to Emily. With a gentle smile, she placed it in front of her daughter. "This meal was always yours," she said. "And so is a place in my heart. I'm sorry it took me so long to realize it." Emily smiled through her tears and hugged both of her parents. For the first time in years, the family photo taken that night captured genuine smiles instead of hidden pain. It wasn't the expensive decorations or elegant ballroom that made the celebration unforgettable, it was the truth that finally brought a broken family back together.